NewsTab. Let's take a look here. McCarthy ousted Republican on why he voted to remove House Speaker. In Kevin McCarthy's ouster, history really is repeating. How does a frozen U.S. House function without a speaker? Everyone's got an opinion. Matt Gaetz. They say it's probably just a publicity stunt. But that's what all politicians do. They're just one publicity stunt after another. I don't really hold that against him, I guess. I'm no fan of Matt Gaetz, but I'm not sure you can really say he's that much worse than all the rest of them. They all sell you out, both sides. I used to think at least one of the sides was a little better than the other, but I don't think I even think that anymore. Healthcare workers picket outside U.S. hospitals in multiple states, kicking off 3-day strike. Okay. I'm sure their conditions need to be improved. I don't think 3 days is going to do much of anything, though. That's just it's just trying to get a little attention, maybe, but it's not going to have any impact. You got to hurt these people if you're going to these companies if you want to actually make a difference. That's not going to really help. Pentagon urges Congress to approve immediate aid for Ukraine. Ukraine. I don't know. It's weird how we do it just kind of halfway. I mean, we could have already ended this thing if we wanted to. I don't know why we have to do it halfway. I know they're scared of nukes. The odds of Russia's nukes actually working, I think, are pretty low. For those of you that are old enough to remember back in the Soviet Union's heyday, nothing they made worked right. Their toasters didn't work right. Their cars didn't work right. Nothing worked right. You're telling me they couldn't make any of their other consumer products worth a darn, but somehow their nukes, which is like a nuke is like super complicated. Somehow they got that right. I doubt it. I bet most of those nukes, if they tried to launch it, it either wouldn't launch properly, like come up and come right back down on themselves, or when it got to its target, if it got to its target, it wouldn't detonate properly. Like it might explode, but not trigger the whole chain reaction or however that works. I doubt very seriously it would work very well. I know. Back in the day, they did all kinds of tests and their tests worked, but I just seriously doubt it. So I don't know. I think we should work to try to end it. I don't think we need to let Ukraine go into Russia's hands. I'm not sure how many resources we should put into keeping that from happening. Let's see, 2 dead after plane crashes through the roof of a home in Oregon. I'm not too far from a municipal airport. I've always kind of worried about a plane crashing into our house. I think that would be pretty bad. The thing is, I was kind of interested in general aviation and learning how to fly and stuff until I really dug into it. Flying is just it's kind of like, a boat in a way. I mean, you're being supported by a fluid of some kind, right? And in the airplane, it's air. But there's all these downdrafts and this and that, especially in a mountainous region. Oh, no way I would do general aviation, flying these small planes around mountains. Mountains just have too many weird downdrafts and updrafts and whatever, just the wind doing weird things that you can't see. Your instruments don't tell you it's happening until you're in the throes of it and it's throwing you into the side of a mountain. No, I gave up on flying a long time ago. I ride motorcycles, but I won't fly. Ryle Trump sounds off on New York fraud trial. I would not want to be Donald Trump ever. I never liked him, but I thought he was good for the Republican Party because the Republican Party needed to be shaken up, and we're seeing the results of that shakeup still today with the ouster of the House Speaker. It's still kind of part of that whole Republicans are in disarray thing. What do we have? Multiple people shot at. Okay, this is getting old. I'm out of here. That's U.S. news. Let's try something else. How about technology news? What's going on in the tech world? Google Pixel 8, 5 reasons to buy and 3 reasons to skip. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's phones are so good already. It's funny. I don't even notice that many phones getting stolen anymore. They used to back in the early days of smartphones because, so many people didn't have them that wanted them. But now even the poorest people have a smartphone. It may not be the top of the line smartphone, but they got a smartphone, which is good. Smartphone, yes, we waste a ton of time on smartphones and do a lot of activities we shouldn't do probably. But no, smartphones are all a good thing. Google Pixel Watch 2 hands-on. I don't I don't have a Google Pixel Watch. I do have a finally broke down and got an Apple Watch Ultra because it helps me at work. It has a lot of features that help me with work. Plus, I like that it was always on, had always on feature, and the battery would last the day. When I first heard about Apple Watches coming out, and I know it was a long time ago, but uh, one of the first downsides that I heard about was the battery doesn't last all day. And I said, "What? The battery doesn't last all day?" That's like, not only should it last a day, it should last more than that. But it wouldn't even last a day. So I just couldn't see doing that and then needing to charge it, buying a watch and dealing with early adoption, all those problems that come with that. And then having to worry about charging it up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just stupid. So I held off for a long time. Finally, Apple Watch Ultra came out. It ticked all the boxes for me. Uh, I love the looks of it. I like that kind of style, the rugged, outdoorsy things. I love that. Um, I like that it's ugly and it's too big. That to me, that's a plus. I know that's not to most people, but to me, it was. And then, I just went down the list of the specs on it, and every inch of the page that I was reading just revealed another feature that I was like, oh my gosh, it'll do that too. It'll do that too. So I splurged and got it. Had it over a year now. Don't regret it at all. Apple emergency update fixes new 0-day used to hack iPhones. Oh my gosh. Well, that's good. I love Apple's updates. Good grief. They need to figure out how to fix their updates on laptops. Like, I manage a fleet of them and they are horrendous to update. Absolutely nightmarish. Oh, let's see. Briefing. Meta launches generative AI products for advertisers. Yeah, we're going to see AI in everything. And, it'll be a little crazy at first, but like all technologies, it'll settle down into something that's helpful. I don't think it's going to replace everybody's job, at least not for the foreseeable future. Um, but society does kind of need to figure that out. We can't have large swaths of the population lose their jobs. That's how, that's jobs are an integral part of how we all survive, how things work. You can't have large segments of the population losing their jobs and not have a way to make a living. Can't say, oh, there's going to be like a basic income or something. That's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. We're not going to do that on some kind of large scale. It's just it's just not going to happen that way. A big part of our value, it comes from our work. It not only in producing money, but also just in self-worth. Your job matters a lot. Humans can't go long periods of time without jobs. Just look at how idle rich kids turn out. Are they great people, or do they usually turn out to be kind of turds? Apple addresses iPhone 15 overheating with a new iOS 17 update. I just don't get why they can't figure this stuff out before they launch it. Well, I know why. It's because they rush it instead of taking their time and getting it right. It's all about speed. You know, Apple, new phones, they come out with one. It's very rapidly, almost like once a year, right? It should be like once every 3 or 4 years. There's no reason. I mean, the differences in the phones are just so minuscule. But there's a lot of people out there. They're a business. They're about making money, about selling product. So as long as there are people who will do it, then Apple's going to do it. But I think it's hilarious that the European Union forced them to put USB-C in the new phones. They didn't want to, but the EU doesn't play around, and they're not as easily bought off as the US, as the people in the US are, the politicians in the US. Politicians in the US, oh, they just give them a few $100,000 and they'll just vote for whatever you want them to vote for. It's really kind of a shame that it's that way. Let's see, what do we got? Google is launching generative AI. Okay, more AI stuff. Galaxy, another phone. What do we have here? Pixel Buds Pro. Get 2 new colors. I can't use those earbuds, man. My ear canals or whatever are just too small. Everything just falls out. I got to use those Bluetooth ones where it goes over the ear and they're connected with a little cord. Nothing else works at all. Axiom Space partners with Prada on Artemis spacesuits. With Prada? The fashion company Prada? What do they really bring to the table? I guess something, maybe. That's kind of weird. If I was going into space, I'm not sure I'd be that excited about knowing that Prada contributed to the design of my spacesuit that I'm depending on for my life. All right, new Assassin's Creed video game brings Baghdad's golden age back to life. That's cool. That's one of the neat things about video games is that you can like relive old eras. Another thing is simulations. I always loved racing simulators because I'm not about to or would ever get a chance to participate in real racing. It's fun to do. 2024 Chevy Colorado test drive. Yeah, looks pretty good. Looks like a nice truck. I'm sure it is. HD heavy duty, like a 2500, I guess. Looks tough. Android 14 review, predictable progress. Yeah. I used to use Android. I use Apple now because everybody in my family likes Apple, so it just makes it a better ecosystem. Toyota 4Runner, the 24 barely changes. Might be a run out before 25 model. Dude, I just wish stuff would come down in price. It just costs too much. I don't make that much. Diablos, I'm not going to buy a truck for more money than I make in a year. That's ridiculous. Diablo 4 Season 2 patch fixes almost every problem I've had with it since launch. Well, that's good. All right, we're running out of gas here. Let's go to entertainment. See what's going on in entertainment. Yes, Taylor Swift. I don't know anything about that sex tape thing, whatever. I don't think I want to know. I know she's got a lot of fans. To me, she's just a gawky girl. I kind of admire her business acumen. She seems to do great at that. Um, a lot better than a lot of other people who started when they're young, you know, because I mean, she wasn't responsible for her breakthrough and getting going. That was her folks and probably a manager or something. I don't know, but but she seems to have handled it well in adulthood, much better than most of the others. What do we got? SAG-AFTRA meets again with studios. Yeah, all these strikers in entertainment. They got to get it all worked out because I need my entertainment. Khloe Kardashian doesn't want to get even with Tristan Thompson. Well, that's good. I know Kardashians, of course, are in the news way more than they should be. Free Britney heats up again after Jamie Lynn Spears is eliminated from dancing. Okay. Oh, I don't know what to say about that. Kim Zolciak and Croy Bierman, police body cam shows war inside home. Kim pleads with police and body cam footage as Croy barricades himself. Oh, good lord. Yeah, I think most police officers would tell you domestics are like one of the worst. That's like you'd much rather chase a bank robber than deal with a domestic. Barry Keoghan spent $10 to make his Riddler self-tape audition for the Batman. Then got cast as Joker. They always have these stories about, like how a movie almost didn't get made or he almost didn't get the part. Those stories are so overblown. Everything in life almost didn't happen, okay? It's really not that interesting. Beckham's, man, I'm from the US and the Beckhams just don't really interest me. I understand they're stars and all that, but they're not stars in my world. Horoscope, I don't know. Horoscopes, of course, are nonsensical. They don't have anything to do with reality. Legends of the Fall actress Julia Ormond, 58, sues Harvey Weinstein. Oh my gosh, that Harvey. And Miramax, Disney, and CAA claiming something. I guess there was an assault years ago. Oh, good Lord. That Harvey Weinstein, man, they really pounded on him, man. He has he has taken the punishment for everybody else's crimes. I mean, and his too, of course. All right. It just got way cheaper to take your kids to Disneyland. It better get way, way, way cheaper because it is way overpriced. Of course, I'm not a Disney freak, but I know a lot of people are. To me, I always wanted to save the money to, put towards getting my kid a car when they were 16 or something like that, not going to Disneyland. That's just most of the people I know who make a big deal about Disney, they like Disneyland. It's not for their kids. They say it's for their kids. It's not. It's for them. I just don't see the big deal. My favorite amusement park was a little one in Arkansas. I don't even remember what the name was, but it was like they had a hillbilly theme because, Arkansas is known for it's got like the small mountains there, the Ozark Mountains, and not the most sophisticated people in the world. That's what the tradition is anyway. But I know that's all changed. Arkansas is as modern as any place is. Suspect charged in rapper Tupac Shakur's fatal shooting appears in court in Las Vegas. That's going to be